Hey, entrepreneurs, are you trying to make bigger profits in your small business? If you're like most of us business owners, increasing your profitability is always on your mind. And you're probably looking for a few ways to grow your revenue while growing your company. Well, you found a podcast that helps you that we share ideas that help you do just that. Tongue twister. I am Marcia Reiner. I'm a business growth strategist, and I've helped tons of small business owners to establish and implement a tangible plan that increases profitability and guides your growth and plans for a future exit. Because building a highly profitable and sale ready business creates a win win scenario. That's more money now and a windfall when it's time to let go. And I want to share strategies that I've learned with you on today's Profit with a Plan podcast. But before we get started, I have some exciting news. We are so close to the date. I want you to mark your calendars. So I've got this super amazing business acceleration event coming up on Saturday morning, June 17th, where myself and 3 other experts are going to be sharing 12 costly profit-killing mistakes that are stalling your growth. Join us for just 2 hours. There'll be 4 experts and 12 powerful strategies that you can use to accelerate your business. But hey, it only takes one to change the course of your business and your life. We're giving you 12 to choose from. So go hit the registration page, join us, and I've got a discount code especially for you. This is only for you guys, so it's only available for just a short time. Go ahead and in the code, put in the word profit with a capital P. And go register at joinaccelerate.now.com. All right, listeners, I want to introduce you to a dear friend of mine, Mischa Zvegintzov, right? We know him as Mischa Z. He's a dynamic force in the world of digital marketing in empowering heart-centered entrepreneurs to amplify their message into the market and elevate their authority, impact, and income. Don't worry, there's no need for throwing away your Facebook ads. Mischa's got a better strategy up his sleeve. With a track record of over 20 years in old school sales, Mischa marries the tried and true strategies with cutting edge tools of digital marketing era. His journey began in the realm of financial services and tech, where he led a team to generating over $1.5 billion of funded loans. Mischa has made 1 million phone calls and run massive ad flyer campaigns and pounded the pavement door to door. His magic? Getting the phone to ring. Navigating through the bustling landscape of digital marketing, testimonials, podcasts, memberships, masterminds, summits, Zoom calls, squeeze pages, opt-ins, and social media. Holy cow, Mischa is in his element. As the founder of the new Influence Army and the host of the Table Rush Talk Show, he is about to share his expertise in inspiring others to step into their power. Mischa, my friend, welcome to Profit with a Plan podcast.
Marcia, I am so excited to be on here. You are an expert at what you do. And I just want to tell everybody listening, you've got to get on the phone with Marcia. She effectively changed my world already in the first 15 minutes of call
Pre-podcast
Zooming or
call.
whatever. Yeah, podcast call. So anyway, there you go.
Awesome. So Mischa, you told us a little bit about in the introduction about how you got into this, and for the last 3 some odd years we've known each other. You've kind of been weaving and dodging and dashing and so on, but you've come into this power of this, and we're calling it influencers army. No, what are we calling it?
It's called the Influence Army. The
Influencer.
Influence Army. Yes.
There it is. So why are we talking about this? Why do you need to be an influencer?
Why you need to be an influencer. And I would say, I've been thinking a lot about this, and I think influencer might not be the right term. And actually I have it written down somewhere else, but I think for us who are maybe a little bit older, maybe we're not millennials per se, but we're in the Gen X-ish
Something or other.
plus or minus, it's more of this idea of networking and having influence in our approach, right? So I'm not necessarily trying to take over to get 1 or 2 or 3 million followers. Oh yeah, that would be great. But it's more about how do we maximize our network and leverage our network and continuously grow our impact, our authority, and our income with our ability to carry our influence. Does that
Ooh,
answer? You like that?
yeah, that's really good because, there are a lot of people out there that aren't influencers, right? They're not pushing a product or like I signed up for this girl that said that she could help me do this. Next thing I'm getting is these, emails every day from all these people in her community. And it's like, stop.
Yeah.
But I think what we want to do as business owners is to get out there and be recognized for our expertise and our skill set. And I
Yes.
think that there's a tried and true path that can work for it. And I think that's what I'm seeing in your your new lane of becoming that influencer in a way that the everyday person can really influence and network and be impactful out there. I think it's fantastic.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for that. You know, I what we're doing or what I'm doing is so I've created this membership called the Influence Army. I just had this amazing founding member launch where brought a bunch of people in to build this membership, to have the amazing community resources, all this stuff. And where was I going with this? Sorry, you're like, be
See,
concise.
uh,
I'm like, uh-oh, the pressure. No, go ahead.
no, just be yourself. But I mean,
Yeah.
holy cow. So you put this whole membership together for the
Yes, yes.
purpose of,
Yeah, so for the purpose of helping take people like us, heart-centered entrepreneurs who want to be, I mean, the money's great, but really it's about I want to know I'm being impactful, that
mm,
my authority in this new environment is there, right?
mm,
And that's what it's all about. And I'm telling you, I, over the last couple of months, I had that aha moment of, oh my God, I know my superpower and I know how I can help people. Like, let's get them on this influence tour. And um, I'll tell you, I, over the last few years, as I've been in the digital marketing game, what the standard now of what the influencer is, the Kardashians, or then all these people in this not realistic picture, right? And and so I have a
exactly.
yeah, so I've got a couple friends who are in this game and they've been following me and they kept on telling me, Misha, you are an influencer. You have influence. And my brain would disconnect. And I'd be
Mm.
like, yeah, but I don't have 2 million followers or all these like millennial metrics, right? And so they said to me, and this was a big turning point. They said, "Hey, Misha, when you jump into this coaching group we're in, where people pay $25,000 a year, $50,000 a year, $250,000 a year, right? Those are the different levels of
Right.
this of this
The
of this
group that we're in.
yeah, the group that we're in. They said to me, they said, look, they said from the brand new person on up to the people in the highest level, everybody knows you, respects you, knows who you are, values your opinion, like takes action on things you say." And I was like, oh my God. I really started thinking about that and I really started internalizing that. And then that was just a turning point for me where I was like, oh my gosh, I am thinking about influence in the wrong way. Like my old school life, like I got those phones to ring. I was a rainmaker. I won awards, all this stuff. I kind of burned out, had that existential crisis. So it's like, how do I bring those skills into the new digital marketing world in a heart-centered way? If that makes sense.
Mm.
So
100%. And I
yeah,
love it because you just defined the idea of the everyday influencer, right? Those people who are maybe not even in the digital space. Maybe they're in their own spaces in their own lanes. They're the CPAs or the plumbers or the contractors or the consultants or what have you, but they have a message that they're sharing, right? And they're saying it pretty regularly and people are listening. And so how do
absolutely.
you grow that audience
Yeah.
in a
How do we
way that you can have more impact, right?
Absolutely. How do we bring that to market in the new world, right? Like,
Mhm.
yeah, there's BNI groups and all this kind of stuff, which can still be effective. Or what what were some of the old things where they wore the funny hats and all those kind of
Oh,
groups?
the Royal Order Water Buffalo. I don't know. I
Yeah,
bet
yeah,
that thing goes
whatever.
from the
There's
Flintstones or something.
yeah, there's all those kinds of things. I can't remember the names, but two things happened. One, two things happened. I had a customer who I was doing work for in the digital marketing world, and I was questioning again. I had the influence, I've got the influence. I had that moment, but then I had, am I like really adding value? And I woke up to this email from a customer of mine, and it was urgent and it was crazy at the time. And I still do some of this. I was doing testimonial work where I would do videography and tell your amazing customer stories. And I would do it at events and just create this crazy excitement, right? And so I wake up to an email from her and she's like, I owe you money and I know you've got a quote out for the next event, but you move the needle for me. I have to have you at my next event. Her name was Stacy Oliver. She's got Mind, Body, Soul magazine. You can, if you go to my YouTube or whatever, you'll see a bunch of the video work I did for her. But she basically said to me, well, she goes, I have to have you at my event in Aspen the next week. Book your tickets. I'll see you there. Right. And she's like, you're the one who moves the needle for me in my business. She's like,
Mhm.
you drove $70,000 in revenue for me. And, and I pay all these other people and they don't move the needle. Like they're checking the boxes and kind of that no one's driving revenue like you are. Right. And I was like, oh my God, I've got influence. I know how to drive revenue. Like, okay, right? How powerful is that? Um, so then the third thing that happened, all this is happening at the same time. And I think you might have asked me or somebody asked me, why are you stepping away from the testimonial thing?
Yeah.
And not that I'm stepping away from it, but it's like,
You're expanding it.
yeah. And I've like, no, you don't understand. Like I can serve heart-centered entrepreneurs in a bigger, better, more badass way by bringing them on on an influence tour than necessarily going out and getting your customer testimonials. I can still teach you how to do it effectively, but does that make sense? So
Yeah, totally. So now you just dropped a bomb for us.
yeah,
Talked about an influencer tour. Tell
yeah.
me more about that. What does that mean for business owners?
Yeah. So basically, we in this membership, the Influence Army, which everybody should jump on board. Go to theinfluencearmy.com /profit. Check us out. We're gonna have a special deal for you. Anyway, thank you for letting me promote myself there. Stay
Back
on
on
point.
track.
Back on track. Um, oh my gosh. So
So
the
back
influencer.
to
So
that question.
basically,
So what's a
yeah,
tour?
yeah. So
Why should a
basically, we're
business
gonna
owner need a tour? Sorry.
Yeah. So basically, we want to get you on 50 podcasts in 100 days. And I mean, imagine how your life would change if you guest spoke on 50 podcasts in 100 days. How would your business and your life change if you did that? Right. And then,
Yeah.
yeah. Right. And so from there, you're consistently speaking on 2 podcasts a week. I mean, I think about that and helping people do that, and I just will be transforming the world, literally. Like, let's go,
Wow.
right? And then from there, we take you on YouTube tour, guest blogging, just on down the line. Um, so what
It
happened there
it sa-
was,
it
yeah, go ahead.
sounds like you're just getting your message out, right?
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
It's, I mean, to really drive it down to the bare basics, you're getting your message out and you're utilizing the power of media, right? That we're
Yes,
also sucked into, right? I mean, I was just watching a video that said, oh, you got to do more videos, right? Oh,
yeah.
AI, you got to do more AI to make your video, blah, blah, so all these crazy things. But the end result is you're just trying to share your message
You're just trying to share your
with
message.
with the world, and the more you can do that, you become the expert and the influencer. And then, like you said, you go on this tour, which sounds exciting to me as a podcast host and a
Yeah.
podcast guest. I mean, wow, this
So yeah,
sounds
so
like a
check.
whole lot of fun.
Oh, ton of fun. And so the rest of the story there is one of my gifts was back old school me was I would find that niche. I would mine it, I would market to it, I would, and moved through the niche, systemized it. I was just a gift that I had, the superpower I had, the scripting, how to get the phone to ring, how to get the people
Love
that
it.
you want to, right, to take that action. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I can replicate this on the searching for the shows to speak on, right? Systemize it so we make it super easy. But people go, oh, I've never spoken on shows before, or I've never
Mm.
done this before, right? So it's like I literally know how to teach you what to say, when to say it, right? It's super easy. It's easier than people think. And then,
Yep.
half the battle is just um,
A- And you
getting
could do it from
started.
home.
And you can do
You
it
could
from
do it from
home,
home.
and absolutely, absolutely. And then, the here's the thing about it too is we start with a soft launch. I call it a soft launch. So in effect, you're just going to announce to your audience, hey, I'm going on podcast tour and it's starting in, pick your date, 3 weeks from here, right?
Yep.
Whatever that is. And what you do though is you define your audience. So you go, I'm going to go on a podcast tour and I'm speaking to X about X, right? And
Love
I'm
it.
starting in 2 weeks. Can't wait to have you guys follow my progress. Boom. I have this whole amazing script. I did this myself. The results were crazy. Out of the gate right away, you're going to have your network. You came to me. You're like, hey, I got to have you on my podcast.
That's
Um,
right.
yeah, your network is going to recommend shows to you, introduce you to shows. I literally had 5 shows booked just by making the announcement. The
That's
other thing
awesome.
is, it is your organically in an excited way telling your community about what you do in a giving
Mhm.
sort of a way. So you're not even asking for anything. You're just like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Who wants to follow? It's going to be fun. Right. And I'm going to talk about this, who I'm going to help, and how I help them. People are going to hear that message and they're going to say,
Over
oh,
and
I need
over
you to
and
help
over.
me. Right. Like right of the way, you're going to generate business opportunities just by putting that message out there.
Love
And
it.
then there's so many other benefits. I'll tell you this too. In today's world where we're trying to manufacture content, right? Like a
Yes.
podcast tour, an influence tour. We just happen to start with podcasts. An influence tour gives you daily organic opportunities to create authentic content on the fly that's true to your heart, that's speaking to your audience, that's putting your message out there. I mean, the benefits go on and on and on and on and on.
So it sounds so simple though. It makes me think that even I can do it, right? Or
Yeah,
even others can do it, and it's not that hard. And so so in your strategies, right? So when we're doing this, do you overcome the shyness of being on the computer screen, or do you help with the script writing and all that kind of stuff so I can be really articulate in what I'm saying and who I'm saying it to?
absolutely. That's a great question. I do want to emphasize, and I keep saying this, but I forget to do it, is we're going to get you in front of the perfect audience. That's the rest of the story. It's like we're not
Mm,
just going to work together to get you on any podcast. We're going to work you to get on the perfect podcasts that speak to your perfect audience. So it's hyper strategic, right? Like you're
love it.
just going into the audiences that want and need to hear what you have to say, right? And then the podcast host is super happy because he's like, or she, because you're serving their audience, right?
Right.
Um, and so, oh yeah, ask that. I wanted to address that and ask that question again real quick. You said, "How am I making it
Oh,
easy?"
do
Or
you do
yeah,
you do you overcome like so not everybody is as outgoing as you are,
oh
right?
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
feels
yeah,
comfortable in front of the camera
totally.
and can say everything articulately. Is there structure and help to have the person who's maybe not so comfortable to be on podcasts? And by the way, not all podcasts are videos, so oftentimes it's just your voice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, those are great questions. So I think the key thing, not I think, absolutely one of the key things we work on are your story bank. So we get your
Mm,
key stories in line that sync up for, how many stories have I told already? Right. So we're going to
right.
line up those stories. Then we line up your customer stories. Like I got my Stacy story. Like Stacy, she's my gal. She's 100% in on me. She's a founding member of my influence army. Like she flies me across the country to work with her. I have another here. I'll show you how it works too. I got another, uh, another customer, client, friend, whatever you want to call them. Kirk literally told me, he goes, hey, he goes, we were talking about podcast, this influence tour and strategies and the perfect audience, right? Because
Hmm.
I was really telling him about the perfect audience and how to like hone in that Venn diagram of interest, right?
Mm, nice.
And I was just the next day or like 2 days later, he texted me and he goes, Mischa, that conversation we had was ridiculous. He goes, that one tip you told me is worth any amount of money I pay you in the future. And I was like, oh my God, can I use that?
So
And he
here it
said,
comes from the
yes.
testimonial guy,
The
right? It's
testimonial
more
guy, right.
testimonials in the form of stories, and I love that.
Yeah.
And I think that's an easy way to authenticate your authority is by being able to tell these stories. And if you know the stories in advance and you can create this bank of stories, then you can pull them out at any time because
Just
you
use
know
them.
them, and it's just a conversation to because John isn't sitting there, Kirk isn't sitting there to tell your story for him, but you could say, Kirk told me about the story, right? I
Yeah.
think that's amazing.
Absolutely. And we can go one level deeper on that. So whenever somebody, if you watch the pros, like I've been watching Stu McLaren a lot lately.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody should Google him and check him out. Who else does this really well is it's obnoxious to me, but he does it well is who's the YouTube guy? Daryl Eves or Evs?
Oh
Darrell
yeah, yeah,
Eves.
yeah, yeah. The YouTube guy, right? Daryl
Yeah,
Daryl Eves.
yeah, I met Darrell and his VP of operations or whatever his VP of his company at an event you and I were at, and I got to sit at a table and talk to him. And we were just talking, and every question I asked him, they answered with a customer story. So it's like,
Mm,
I mean, it
wow.
was amazing. I was watching from stepped back, right? And Daryl's the best in the world at what he does, like the best in the world, right? That what they created, the chosen and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so it's like if somebody asks you a question, oh, well, how does this work? You simply go, oh, well, that's a great question. This is how it works. I have my customer Jim, and this was his before state, and then we bumped into each other on the airplane through my marketing, through whatever. His mom introduced me to him, and we applied this framework, right? My gift, and now this is how it works in his life,
Wow.
right? Yeah.
Wow.
Uh, but
That's impactful. That's an impactful way of sharing how you do things, right?
yeah,
Through the testimonials or these stories that you're crafting, you get to showcase, like you said, a before and after, and here's how I helped him, and here's the results that they got. And you're like, wow, I could see myself in that position, in that role of
yeah,
of the other person, and it starts to attract the ideal client to come in and see you, right?
absolutely.
And again, this works for any kind of business, right? We're
Yeah,
talking attorneys can do this, chiropractors can do this, um, uh, retail stores can do this. Oh, we brought Susie in, and
check this out.
Susie wasn't dressed right, and now she's dressed cool, and she got the job, right? I mean, you could elaborate this on any level.
Absolutely. I have another founding member, another Kirk. This is a different Kirk than the Kirk that I mentioned, but I got another customer Kirk who joined to go on this influence tour. And this is check out what Kirk does. And he's absolutely a heart-centered entrepreneur. I straight up asked him, I'm like, are you a heart-centered entrepreneur? Absolutely. And we talked about it, and he is. And I knew it about the guy, and I was like, yes, I want him in. But he doesn't fit your classic profile of like this heart-centered entrepreneur where you're thinking like yoga teacher or something like that, right? Just check out
Or
what this guy
women's
does.
coach or something, right?
Yeah, yeah, or
It's
crystal
just
person, or it's
it's
someone
that
who's
heart-centered is just means you come from a value or a passion or a belief system that says that this is the message you are meant to bring out. It
yes,
doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be, woo woo or anything weird or a yoga teacher, but
absolutely. Oh, go.
but it's just that you're passionate, right?
Absolutely. And I would say it comes from that deep down internal knowing, just what you said, like this is this is the message that I am gifted to bring, called to bring, have to bring. And money's just a side thing, right? It's like having
Money's the
money's
result.
great. Yeah, money is a result, but money doesn't care. And actually, you don't care. It's like
Mm,
as long as I'm getting my message out there and having impact, most of the time that is going to lead to some money. But honestly, when I'm in that state and I'm moving from my heart center, I don't care. And I'm like,
mm,
oh, I'm making money today or I'm not. Honestly, I like, and I know I'm going to be taken care of because I'm so
mm,
aligned with,
mm.
my direction, calling, passion, the universe, call it whatever you want, God. I love that word. Um, but
Love it.
anyway, so yeah, so Kirk, and you guys should meet. Kirk helps owners of companies uh sell out and get like for like hundreds of millions to a billion plus. That's what he does. And you know what he
Wow.
does? Yeah. He goes, I keep vultures at bay. He said, in our industry, it's rife with vultures. And he's like, I keep the vultures at bay. And we do this in a way that's like from the heart. And I was like, I get the chills even just talking about it, man.
Wow.
I'm so excited to have him in this membership. So how about that, right? We got someone like that. And then of course I've got some healers in there and I got a clothing brand in there. I've got literally my neighbor who's I've seen for 5 years. Finally, he asked me, he goes, what do you
What
do
do you do?
anyway? Yeah. I said, well, so I told him, and you know what he does is he's been in construction for his whole life. And he's a 50-ish years old, but more blue collar, right? A heart-centered guy, man. He's a good guy, but he's blue collar, construction, foreman type,
All
right?
muscle.
Absolutely. And so his thing was he has all this leftover pallet scrap wood that comes from all these projects, these massive construction projects that he's on. And so he's got a little daughter who's 12 or 10 or somewhere in there now, but they started taking that scrap wood and making succulent boxes out of them
Oh,
and
nice.
really just repurposing them into these beautiful, amazing succulent boxes. He's like, I want to take that to market. And I'm like, I'll tell you how I do it. Right? Like we would get
Right?
you.
With the daughter's label on it on the
Oh
front,
my God,
right?
he's got amazing stories. Like I've watched him do this for 5 years and his stories are incredible. Like he's like, I'm
Wow.
just doing this. And you know what? Now we've started going to all these flea markets or not flea markets. What do you call the higher end flea market? Like what do you call that?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, yeah, where
But
all
they're
they have all the fancy stuff, right?
yeah,
The weekend little what are they
yeah,
called?
yeah,
Darn it.
yeah.
Um,
They're
but he
still flea
goes,
markets, but yeah,
yeah.
no
So
fleas.
yeah, no fleas. So but he's like, yeah, he's helping build his daughter's college fund. And he's
Nice.
teaching his daughters all these what are to him these like core values of
Mm,
saving and working and doing good things. And I'm like, dude, you got an amazing and there's more stories. And he's like, I was like, we could get you on tour, target the right audiences. You tell people what you do. You could send the audience, the host of whatever show, like an example of what you do, and like people and guide them to your site, you
mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, because he was like, I don't want to do construction anymore. I'm over it. And I'm like, well, I have an idea for you.
That's a hard place to grow old in, that's for
Yeah.
sure,
But
because it's all manual labor. But what a neat story of how you're bringing these people from all different areas together, and they all have this like direction of how do I promote myself, right?
yeah,
How do I share my message with the world in a way that um, isn't a flyer delivery or an icky sales way, but through a story that connects your audience to you, right? Because
yeah,
we all know, I mean, you can buy from anybody. You can go on Amazon, you can buy it, it'll be delivered the next day, right? Or the
yeah,
same day, I guess, in some instances. But for many of us, we have to separate ourselves from the pack, right? There's
yeah,
so many people doing what we do in one way, shape, or form that if we can stand out and tell a really fantastic story and share a really important message, then people will be drawn
yeah.
to you. right?
Absolutely. Yes. And I know we're coming close on time and I don't want to go over the limit, but I'm more than willing to. Here's the thing. We're not trying to get anybody to be anything that they're not. And again, the picture of the influencer is like the Kardashians. I don't know why they keep coming to mind, but they're like, I guess, the ultimate influencer in the
Hmm.
current arena, right? Where it's the shiny object that's hyper story told, hyper edited, glossed over, photoshopped, whatever, right? Um, I've
Injected,
yeah,
boosted.
boosted, yeah.
Stra-
I mean, I've been so for 3 years, you know it, and you can attest to this. Like I've been deep in it, and I've been interviewing and talking to thousands of people, literally going to networking events, all this stuff, and people that are authentic to the story. And like, if you're nervous, be nervous, right? Like if you're fidgety, be fidgety. If you're
right.
like, we're not trying to create something that you're not. We're
No,
trying to
because
help.
that's attractive though.
Yeah.
Being yourself is truly attractive to the people that you want to work with.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, exactly. I've got more. I hope I answered all those questions.
Mischa,
Oh,
you've
so
got tons, and I know you've got tons. And I
I,
know that if the audience follows your mastery and your footsteps here,
yes.
they're going to be seeing you and your followers on 50 or more podcasts coming really soon. So you
Yes.
can elaborate even further on this
Yes.
whole idea by being out there sharing your message. And I'm
Absolutely.
sure, like many really good speakers and those that have that heart centered message, it's going to evolve and tweak and improve and go a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left each time. So it's
Yeah.
never the same kind of, here's my 5 things, cut and dry, go buy my stuff and out the door I go. It's
Yeah.
more of these stories that you've been sharing with us. So I know that you'll have plenty of opportunity to share those on future podcasts with other folks. So, Mischa, I got to ask you though,
Yeah.
where can listeners find out more about you and this tour and this mission that you're on?
Yeah. Great question. Thank you for asking that. So the influencearmy.com. You can always find me there. The Influence Army, influencearmy.com. We're gonna have a special offer for your listeners. I've closed down entry into the membership right now. So it's closed to who's in there, but we'll sort something out where we'll give your customers some backdoor entry or maybe
Nice.
early access to the next door opening or a discount or something like that. And so if they want to DM me profit, just DM me profit and then we'll take care of them. I think that would probably
Awesome.
be the easiest, best way to go. But yeah, we'll get them on tour. We'll get them into the membership site. We'll help them explode their message, amplify their message, get
I love it.
your
I love it.
yeah. And then
And it's so important.
Table Rush Talk
Yeah,
Show, of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
Yeah. Facebook, and Mischa Zvegintzov. It's actually at facebook.com/Mr. Mischa. But there's only one Mischa Zvegintzov on there. I'm done.
You're done. Fantastic. Well, listeners, if you haven't figured it out yet, and I forgot to talk about this in the beginning, Mischa was really super kind enough to interview me on my celebratory 200th episode just a few weeks back. So Mischa and I have been circling each other for a long time, and I'm so honored to have you on the show. And I think this was fantastic. And listeners, I hope you found a couple of ideas to put into your business that will help you be more profitable. Because I know for a fact, if you can share your message with the right audience, then more people are going to be attracted to you. And that's that magnetic flavor that we all want rather than going out there and pulling people in. This is a more natural, authentic, really, heart-centered way of doing what you do and getting it out to the masses. So I think this would be a fantastic opportunity for you to add just one more little incremental change to your whole marketing strategy and put this into your play. And I think it'll be very profitable for you. All right, here's a friendly reminder. Don't forget my new event. It's coming up really soon. It's called Accelerate Now, Saturday, June 17th. 2 hours, 4 experts, 12 powerful strategies that will accelerate your business. Because it's only going to take one to change your business and your life, just like you're learning today. And by the way, we're giving you 12. So only 12, you can really make it happen, and for just 2 hours. And so the registration page is open. The discounts are all closed by now because it's happening this weekend. But if you go ahead and type in the word profit with a capital P, that discount code will pop up for you. And it's basically a couple of dollars to get in. So it's not a big deal. But come join us for this valuable day. Again, June 17th. And go to Join Accelerate Now. And Mischa and I would love to hear your questions or your feedback. Share a comment in the thread. Tell us what your heart-centered message is. Just put it out there. We'd love to hear it. We'd love to your feedback on it, or we'd love to answer you back on it. Hit us up with any questions. And while you're at it, you can also hit the word profit on this particular feed, and I will make sure that Mischa sees it as well, so you can get the back door on his program. So while you're at it, subscribe to today's show. You don't want to miss any future podcasts. You can just hit the subscribe and ring the bell so you get announcements on it. We're over 200 episodes in, and there's always great people on the show. So you'll want to make sure that you watch Profit with Plan on any of your favorite podcast players. And we're looking forward to more great profitable information on next week's show. So until then, make your plans and profit with them. Yes, Mischa.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Awesome.